but
Oh wait, are we gonna call your grandma?
are we starting the pod? We're starting
Okay, are we ready?
the pod.
So nervous.
I'm Chris,
Wait, oh, are we starting now?
the cool one.
You are the cool one.
Yeah.
Are we
And
starting?
That
Are we recording?
yeah, we're
Oh,
recording
nice. Okay, welcome to the podcast, ladies.
because we can make a
gentlemen.
montage out of this,
We can make a montage. out of
and that'll
this.
be our open.
Thank God. We need something.
And that is Natalie. You here on the other microphone?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Natalie, and this is Chris, and we have shit to say. And this is shit to say.
And it is shit to say.
Oh my gosh, I'm so.
We can
excited.
just continue to do this over and over.
How many times can we say shit to say?
Shit to say.
The name of this episode, our inaugural episode, is snake wrangling.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we need to start. Now, I want
But we need to give them the whole
right,
backstory.
and that is just what I was going to preface. I want you to explain in your head what went down that day and how I became the logical wrangler of the snake.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long day. But it
It
was
was a
also a
Sunday.
Sunday.
It was a
It was
Sunday.
a Sunday night.
Yep.
Everything happened that night. I was going to come in and I was going to help wrangle the snake after I found out about it. But I'm terrified of
So
snakes.
approximately, okay, so we need more backstory. So you control everything here. You run shit at
Yeah.
the unnamed news station that we're
Yeah.
probably not gonna
Ever.
divulge for risks of getting canceled.
Yeah.
So you get a call. If anything happens, you get a call, right?
Yeah.
So like you get a call approximately what time from whom, and like set the scene for our dear listeners.
Well, this person will go unnamed, but I'll call them.
No, we
We
can't. We
can't
had
do
a
that.
film.
We
It wasn't the film.
It's not Phil.
We'll call
We're gonna
him
call them
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Phoenix gave me a text message
Okay.
and was like, "Hey, there's a snake in the basement.
There's a snake in my boot.
One of our employees went downstairs and saw it and it slithered away." And I'm like, all the fucking things that I have to deal with in this place.
Why did it have to be a snake?
Why does it have to be a fucking snake?
Side note, we're still trying to figure out how it got in.
Uh,
And it's like downstairs into the basement.
I believe that it came in the front door
And
Slithered
slithered
its
down
way-
the stairs.
slithered its way down the stairs
That's the stuff of nightmares.
into the dark, cavernous
Oh,
basement.
how long? How long do you think it was down there?
Oh, it was for sure down there like at least 2 days, maybe longer. That was a fat snake.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, yeah, it was probably starving.
Okay, so you told me that it was called a rat snake. I looked it up. I was like, "Holy shit!" Oh, that's okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. But what I need to say is, if it's called a rat snake, I'm assuming it's called a rat snake because that's what it eats. There's no way that it could eat a rat. It couldn't
Oh,
even
that
eat a little mouse.
Well, it could eat a little mouse. Have you seen? I don't know if you do, but I watch a lot of reptile YouTube videos.
But you're afraid of snakes.
I'm terrified of snakes.
Make it make sense.
But they eat fucking pigs.
Oh.
Like whole pigs. You know, like a snake's mouth can open to like. This is not. We don't speak facts here. I'm just estimating. But these snakes can open their mouths, like they like break open their jaw to be able to eat large animals. Like
I know, but okay. Well, when we get to the point of me wrangling the snake, I will tell you how big it really was. I don't want to spoil it.
I mean,
But
if
I
we
don't
ever make
think
this into video form, I'll share the video.
You know, we can
Maybe on the cover of this
in the show
episode.
notes. In the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put a screenshot out. Yeah. But yeah, so I got a text and I couldn't get to it right away cuz I was, about an hour away. Already busy with my day because I do have a personal life.
Drinking?
No, I was hanging out with my mom.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, she's a great lady. But yeah, so I said, "Oh, well, I'll get to it as soon as I can. Just, Leave it alone. Like, well, I don't understand why a snake in the basement on a Sunday night is like urgent.
Emergent, yeah.
Yeah, it's like urgent, like emergency situation. That doesn't make sense to me because it's like just leave the fucker alone. What's it gonna do? Fucking slither after you?
Yeah, seriously, is it gonna
It's
like
a
jump on
snake.
air?
It's a snake. It's not gonna chase you. I don't think. But um yeah, so I eventually make my way over here. I stop by my apartment to drop some stuff off. And then I get another phone call. Actually, no, it wasn't a phone call. It was a Teams message
Mhm.
that one of our other colleagues got into a car accident.
Yep.
And then I'm like, "Ah, shit. Well, like I should probably, like I'm headed that way. Maybe I'll just be like, "Hey, do you need a ride?" So I called and sure enough, they needed a ride. Um and so I did that and I was like, this would be a great opportunity because I told Natalie about the accident
Yes.
and she was like, "Well, if there's anything you need help with." And I'm like, "Oh, this is beautiful.
Pause. Okay, I just want to say,
This
and
is
like we will do a segment on like pleasantries. Like things like, "Oh my god, it's great to see you. Let's get lunch sometime." Like when you offer certain things, you're just doing it to be polite. It's actually impolite to
accept
accept
it."
accept some of those. So when I was asking, at the very least, I thought that you would send me to the scene of the car accident.
Oh, hell no. You
Well,
know me.
nobody ignores us. We don't let them.
We
That is not an
No.
option.
Where were we? Oh yeah,
Oh
it's
yes.
not polite to.
Yes, it's not polite to actually like make like accept the help that's being offered, especially when I'm like, yeah, I'm just laying in bed, like I can come help you.
y- But you weren't totally down for it.
Well, I was, and I'll get to why I was down for it in a second.
Um,
Because once the wheel starts turning, it becomes a bit, and I am
yeah,
committed to the bit. But
yeah,
go on.
no, and I I just had too many things on my plate, so I
You
decided
had two things on your plate.
on a Sunday night when I should be in bed.
That's fair.
Yeah, but whatever.
So you're
And
like,
I,
Natalie's willing to help.
yeah, and I was like, is Jake not afraid of snakes?
He is.
You said he wasn't on the phone.
Because I knew that I was going to go do this, and I thought that if I told you I was gonna wrangle it, you would tell me no.
No. I would have told you yes if you weren't afraid of snakes.
I mean, I'm not.
Well, I
I don't love
absolutely I know
them.
you're
I
not
don't
afraid of
love
snakes.
them, but I
I'm
don't
terrified.
fear them.
I will find any excuse not to have to deal with a snake.
Okay.
But so I went and helped our colleague and um
I
then at the same time well no, I drove here,
mhm.
went down to the basement and I couldn't find the snake.
I found it in less than a minute.
I looked for like 2 minutes and then I was like, well, I think Natalie's gonna come here anyways, so I'm gonna go.
So when you're from Florida, when you grow up in Florida, there's just like certain things. Like part of our curriculum, this actually isn't a joke. Part of our curriculum in Florida is learning how to run from an alligator.
I thought you were gonna say alligator wrangling.
No, no. We're discouraged from actually wrangling them, but how to run from alligators and how to like things like the stingray shuffle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just like learn. You don't like step in the water. You glide your feet so that way you don't step onto a stingray. So like there's just certain instincts that I have because they were either taught to me or there's something in the water down there.
I don't like
So I just have a
walking.
sixth sense for reptilian creatures.
Yeah, I don't like walking into like. I know this is getting off topic, but I don't like walking into like lakes where I can't see the bottom or
Oh,
oceans where
I'm afraid of fresh water.
why?
Because okay, so there are so many more hazards in the ocean, but like I am afraid of fresh water. Fresh water freaks me out. I like amoebas.
Oh yeah, shit can grow.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
nasty shit, like bacteria and all
Yeah,
that stuff. Saltwater, you don't get that.
that's what I'm
Not
saying.
like not quite the
So
same.
you're not gonna catch me in fresh water.
Yeah, but you don't have like killer fish in freshwater. I mean, you got snapping turtles.
I would rather get snapped to death
No.
by a shark than a brain-eating amoeba.
Touche. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'd rather know what's killing me.
Right, and
Yeah.
have it be fast.
Right. Yeah. And I mean,
And, like,
circle
honestly,
of
if a
life.
shark eats my leg, like, how fucking metal is that?
Oh yeah, you could definitely get like a freaking uh what's that called? Prosthetic.
I'd probably have to quit figure skating, which is coming up later in this episode.
Oh god. Well, good thing you didn't
Okay,
get bit
okay.
by a
We're
shark.
we're 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 way off topic. You're gonna have to edit a lot
I
of this.
know.
So okay, so anyway, the long and short of it is I offer to help and somehow I get put on snake wrangling duty. Now, what's important to know about me is that I am so committed to the bit that I will literally risk my life if in my head it's funny enough, which is not a good personality trait. But like once I got it into my head that I was going to go down in history as being the person that came in to wrangle this snake, I was going to find the son of a bitch. Cuz when I talked to you, you said that it was hiding and that I probably wasn't going to be able to find it. So I was like, what a bummer, like if I can't find the snake and I don't end up being the one that wrangles it. So on the way there, I made Jake drive. On the way there, he's like, do you need gloves? Like, what are you gonna grab it with? And I was like, my fucking hands. I don't think I've told you this story yet. I was like, oh, you grab it with your hands. And he's like, you can't just grab a snake. And I said, what? Yeah, you can. And he's like, what are you gonna put it in? And I was like, nothing. I'm just gonna grab it and take it outside. And he's like, you can't do that. I was mostly messing with him because he was like not thinking that this was gonna happen. So I'm like, you have to grab it by the neck. You have to grab it like up by its, because then you don't want it to like, you gotta kind of
Whip around and bite you.
whip around and bite you.
Yeah.
And even if it's like a little grass snake, like it can still bite you. And then he was
Mm-hmm.
telling me too that it's like a cat, even if they're not venomous, their fangs are like dirty. So he told me if it bit me, I was gonna get some kind of infection.
Just like the fucking freshwater lakes.
Just like the freshwater lakes. Exactly. That guy just took a dip in fucking Holmes Lake before he came here. So God only knows what he was working with. So I didn't the moral of the story is I planned on finding like gloves or something to grab it with, and I knew that I was going to have to find some sort of box to put it in, but like on the way there I was really hyping Jake up because he thought I was absolutely insane, and he came along with me because I think too he was going to be like, there's no fucking way that she's going to touch the snake, like
Okay,
she
that
is.
snake looked way bigger in the photo that I saw, in the video that I
Mm.
saw. That snake looked like it was like a 4 foot long,
Well,
thick
the
beast.
way you made it sound, I thought that I was coming in to like wrestle a python. I was like, there is an
That's what I thought
anaconda.
it
I was
was.
like, there is an anaconda in the basement and it is going to coil me and like, it's
Swallow you whole.
swallow me whole.
It's gonna break its jaw open and swallow your whole
But like, what
body.
a way to go. Still would rather that than the amoeba.
Do we get workers' comp for that?
Probably. I don't know. It wasn't during normal working hours. Maybe we should look into that.
Well,
Whatever.
we're salary, so we're on the clock 24/7, 365.
Hell yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sure, they could throw me a couple sandwiches for that one.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Maybe
Um, so anyway, so you had told me it might be hiding. And so I was like, okay, I got to find this thing. So I came in, ran into somebody in the hallway and said that I was the one that had been tasked with doing this. He thought I was absolutely out of my mind. And he was like, better you than me. And right on. Which makes it even funnier. That's what I'm saying. Like me being the one showing up, like you're the one that they called. So anyway,
who who was the one that asked you that? I'll bleep it out.
Fabian.
Oh.
He's like, first of all, what are you doing here? And second of all, you. So anyway, so then I go downstairs and I knew that I needed to find a box to put it in. And again, I truly didn't think that I was going to touch this thing with my hands. I really doubted whether or not I was going to find it. I didn't think that I would. So I see this like those blue like recycling bins under the desk in question where it had been last seen. Also, you guys had moved everything out of the way. I don't know how you moved all of that shit and didn't find it.
I didn't move anything.
Well, then
Because
then
I
they
didn't want to
did.
move something and then actually find it.
Then they did. They moved to like the bookshelves. Like it looked like the place had gotten like ransacked.
They're a lot more adventurous than I am.
So anyway, so I see this plastic bin and I pick it up to like because that's what I'm gonna put it in. And she's a girl.
Wasn't that a recycle bin?
It was a
So
recycling
you
bin.
were recycling the snake?
I sure was. So anyway, I moved the bin and there it was. And I didn't have time to wait. It started slithering away. So I couldn't let it go and hide again and then I wouldn't be able to find it. So I just grabbed it, threw it in the fucking thing.
I'm loving how I'm finding out all of this
Yeah.
stuff just now.
And I'm pretty sure I did send a text message that I said I grabbed that son of a bitch with my bare hands. That was not an exaggeration.
See, I'm just gonna make sure that this newfound job duty gets added to your job description for future hires of your position.
I'm still waiting for like my vest. You know, give me the
Oh, that's right.
tools.
No, no, I was gonna get you a hat, I
Oh,
think.
yep.
Yep.
Natalie
Oh
Dundee.
no, no, it was a vest and like
Hmm.
one of those like
And a Boy Scout
big
badge.
round hats.
Yep, and a Boy
Yep,
Scout
your
badge.
safari hat. She's
So anyway, so I see this thing and can I just tell you, part of me was disappointed. This thing was maybe, I don't know. I mean, the like the diameter of like a highlighter.
so like a penny, the thickness of a
Oh no,
penny.
no, maybe a dime.
Damn.
Like it was not, and it was maybe like a foot and a half, two
Okay,
feet long.
but like I said, that video that I was sent made it look like a fucking beast.
Okay, well, the video that I sent painted the real picture
Yeah.
because I sent it to another person who responded, "That is a worm." And can I just say, like, part of me was like genuinely disappointed that this was just like such a lame ass snake. I felt bad for it. I felt bad for me. It was
Oh
like,
yeah.
this is what I got out of bed for. And so anyway, I took it out back. I went through the newsroom, let everybody who was there see
Hmm,
it,
hmm, hmm.
say their goodbyes. The reason that I know that she's a girl is because the video that you were sent of Phoenix, I think is what we named this person.
Oh no.
It
Well,
kind of
yeah.
lunged at him
Yeah.
because he was taking a video of it. She was in her pajamas. She had rollers in her hair. She did not want to be videoed. So she like lunged at the camera. But when I saw her, she was just sort of like, "Are you a friend?" And so I grabbed her. So she's a girl's girl. So I took her out back. I took her out back and I was like,
What was her name?
Sparkles.
Sparkles, that's right.
I told her, I was like, "You know what? Like you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. You are not welcome back." And the part of
She
the
was just
story,
coming here for the barbecue.
I think she was.
Yeah.
There's like snacks,
Yeah.
little crickets or whatever. She missed the infestation of bugs like a
Oh
month and a half ago.
shit. She would have gotten all those fucking
Dude,
ants.
she would have been the size of an anaconda.
Oh my god. I
But any
would have been.
when I tell this story to people, I make up this little last detail and then I say, so, we had this conversation. I said, "You're not welcome back. Don't come back. Don't try coming into this news station again." And then an owl came and just, I spared her life and an owl came by and just ate her.
Well,
But that part didn't happen to
you,
my knowledge.
you want to know what drives me wild
She
right
hasn't
now?
answered any of my text messages, so I don't know how she's doing, but
You want to know what gets me now is I called like
working?
I called multiple people to try and come and get the snake on Sunday night
No,
because
you
it was such an emergency. If one of them would have came here and found that fucking snake and to see it the size that it was, they would have been like, "I'm charging triple time for this."
and I did it for free.
She did it for free.
I
Well,
did
she
it for
gets paid to do other duties as assigned.
Is that on my job
I would
description?
assume so. It's on everyone's.
Well, I
But
did my job.
then what I felt really bad about was when I was at that accident site. I was talking to one of the cops and I was like, "Hey, so it's like, animal control. I called their number." And their after hours was like,
Because
um,
you just thought the cop would know. I guess animal control is kind of like
well,
law
animal control
enforcement.
told me to call 911 or the non-emergency
Stop
number
it.
to have an officer come out. And I was like,
That's so
"Oh, if
funny.
I would have had," I asked the officer, I was like, "So they said to call them," and they're like, Yeah, like sometimes like they'll send someone out if we have someone available, and there's not, the world's not fucking falling apart.
Right.
But we'll send someone out, and uh but we'll find out who is fine with snakes. I would have been so fucking embarrassed if any one of those companies, or if I would have called the police department and had a cop come out to get that fucking worm.
Dude, that would have been hilarious.
And they probably would have killed her.
I don't think so. That's the thing. Like I was talking to Jake's mom. So this woman grew up on a farm. Jake grew up on a farm, which is why I figured he wouldn't be afraid of snakes. He evidently is. But apparently his mother is very afraid of snakes. And when I was like telling her this story, she was like, that is the stuff of nightmares. She's like, I am like my heart is palpitating when like just hearing about this story. So she asked if I killed it, and I said, absolutely not. Why would I have done that? And she first of all, like, it's easier to just let it go and hope it doesn't come back, and if
Hmm.
it does, like, we're pals now. I'll just be like, "Girlfriend,
You're
we
not
talked
supposed to
about
come
this, you're
back
not supposed to
here.
come back." But, like, the way that I was raised, because there's a situation in my childhood where I was, like, face to face with a cottonmouth snake, and it hissed at me, and I didn't know at the time, and then we had this whole lesson of, like, poisonous Florida snakes, but, I was always taught you only kill it if it's venomous or if it's, dangerous, but if it's like a little garden snake, he's not hurting anybody.
I mean, there was a time in my life that I rented a place, like a house, had a full, yard and a little garage and whatnot. At one point in my life, when rent was a lot
It was
cheaper.
not too damn high.
Yeah. And my yard was infested with snakes.
Gross.
Like literally, you couldn't walk 2 feet without seeing another snake. And then one day, I got home from work. I get onto my porch, open the door, bam, big ass snake, probably like that thick. What is that? Like
Bigger
a
than a quarter.
bigger than a quarter, that thick.
A
And
half
that thing
dollar, maybe.
starts lunging at me,
No, thank you.
and then I start going after it with a shovel, and I mean, I know that's not humane, but this thing attacked me first. I never got it. It got down to the basement, and I ended up calling somebody to come get it out. But that yard was infested with snakes.
That's really gross.
It was
What do
disgusting.
you do? Like, does
Don't you call an exterminator?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Can they like can Orkin come out and like
Well, I would hope the landlord pays for that.
well, no, I mean, yeah, like obviously, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like in general, if your yard is infested, like do you poison like can you just and then what do you do with all the I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Or okay. I
See,
think I
that's the
think
thing.
it's
That's where I draw the line though, and that's very interesting. So I'm not afraid of these creatures while they're still breathing. But if that snake were dead and you're like, there's a dead snake, it can't hurt you, I would have been like, absolutely no go. Once it has breathed its last breath, I'm not touching it.
oh, you don't want those bad juju vibes.
No, I just, dead things are disgusting to me.
Oh.
Like
Well, I can
RIP,
I can handle dead, but
I
like
can't.
the thing is like those type of animals, I feel like they're going to come back to life.
Well, listen, you owe me big time. So if there's like a dead bird or something in my yard, the next time that happens, I'm calling you up.
Oh, that's fine. That's
Excellent.
fine. All right.
What a good arrangement we have.
Yeah. I think we made it through the snake
I was gonna
section.
say, so that's the time I wrangled a snake.
Yeah, that was the time she wrangled a snake, and she's getting a vest for it,
Yeah.
and she's gonna get a hat for it.
Employee of the month. I
I
would
just gotta find it in my budget to pay for it.
that's fine. You will. You'll
Yeah,
find it. I mean,
yeah.
Amazon has everything.
One of these days.
I want a paper plate award for that. I want one.
Ooh,
I
we
can't
should. I should recommend
I was
that.
gonna say I can't like campaign for my own paper plate award.
I've gotten my own. I've got one
I
right
know, we're
there.
looking right at it.
You haven't gotten one yet?
No.
Oh, well.
To my knowledge, I have had one nomination though.
Well, mine's only from March. So,
I've only been
are
here
they
6
like
months.
weekly or monthly?
I think monthly, but I don't know that we've done them
Well,
since the
shit.
previous paper plates are moved.
B.
Mhm.
Mm, yeah. I think there was some talk about it last week, but
Okay.
yeah. All right.
Okay, so this is something that I'm incredibly passionate about, and have been for about a week.
talk about impulse.
I, on September 8th, will be starting adult figure skating lessons.
You asked me to join too.
I know. And I realized after that you have bad knees, and I'm about to have bad knees.
I have real bad knees.
So, okay, but this is another example of my commitment to the bit. Because when I started looking into it, it was kind of a joke. And then I was like, no,
We're
that's kind
actually
of funny.
gonna do it.
I'm actually going to do it.
She's
So,
gonna be an Olympic all-star.
speaking of bananas, I am like 700 bananas in at this point, and we haven't even started the lessons.
Oh my god.
It is an
Talk about a fucking investment.
it's an expensive impulse, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it. But here's my gripe, and this is specifically why I wanted to talk about this.
Well, you had an impulse. I just had an impulse yesterday to buy a lizard.
Did you?
I will today.
Oh, can you be a special guest?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yep.
Um, my gripe, and the reason I want to talk about adult figure skating lessons is that it is insanely difficult to find beginner lessons for adults
In everything.
in everything, especially things that are like typically started in childhood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's, I mean, it's really like
It's
I
ageism.
considered it is. I considered dance. I considered all of these hobbies, but like I've
Oh, you could go take some like salsa classes, swing
but the
dancing.
thing is like it's hard to find them and the times never really work out.
Mm,
It's anyway, the moral of the story is I think that our society basically says like if you miss your prime,
yeah.
there's no sense in starting something like languages. And I know like actually like
Right.
languages are harder to learn when you're
Mm-hmm.
older because when you're younger your brain is much more primed to pick up languages quicker. But I think that as a society we need to encourage adults to have more hobbies.
Yeah, I mean, or the opportunity for hobbies. Because here's the thing, I will gladly spend $1,000 on myself
Mhm.
doing something. That's why I did bull riding. Like I spent a shit ton of money on myself to start bull riding at 25 years old.
Which is so
Stupid.
dumb.
But
Oh my god.
it's like
Why bull
I
riding
still
though?
think like look at Jake. Now he's flying planes
He's
at
literally flying a plane right now.
yeah,
He's learning how to
at
fly.
I mean,
31 years old.
which
I mean,
maybe that's a little
you don't
different.
learn how to fly a plane at 6 though. Like your mom
No,
doesn't
no, no.
sign
No.
you up for flight lessons when you're 6 years old.
No, but like bull riding everyone sees as like, oh, you're gonna start that as at like 10 years old. Figure skating, they're starting those little bitches out at like three,
I know.
four, five
Dude,
years old.
so
And what
okay,
are you gonna do? Take fucking figure skating lessons with fucking 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds?
and they would be so mean to me too.
They would bully
They
you.
would bully the shit out of me.
They'd probably trip
Okay,
you, make you fucking fall.
and that's the thing. Okay, when I signed up for these lessons, I needed a pair of figure skates. And so I did some research, obviously not enough because I ordered the wrong size. But I search what kind of skates that I need. I go to Scheels website and I order the figure skates. I wear a size 9 shoe, so I order a size 9 because that's what the friggin' size chart said. It wasn't specific to like figure skates, it was just like general shoes. So they arrive on Friday. I try them on and they're really, really loose. And I'm like, I feel like this isn't right. So I did research and I learned that your whole foot needs to like fit in it. Like you don't want wiggle room. So I went to the Shields in Lincoln and they told me that they didn't have figure skates at that store. So I have to go all the way to Omaha,
Hmm.
which is only an hour, but still. So I go to Omaha, I go to Shields and I have to ask them where the figure skates are. So when you go, like 80% of the skates that they have are hockey skates. And then they have like 3 options for figure skates for adults. They have a ton of options for kids. And when I would point out the ones that I liked that Google told me were good skates, they were like, yeah, we only carry kid sizes in those.
So there's ageism right again,
Right there.
you
So
know?
I had 3 choices of
And
figure skates.
also, like, Why are there more hockey skates than figure skates?
Yeah, let's talk about that too. Let's talk about that too. Because when I said that I wanted skates, they're like hockey skates, and I was like, no, figure skates. I'm a girl. Duh.
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 Does it
And that's
look
not to
like
say, and that's
does
not
it
to
look
say that
like I'm
women.
putting on does it look like Natalie is gonna put on all this fucking gear, all this protective actually she would.
I mean,
You would.
I could
You wrangle snakes,
I wrangle
so
snakes. But no, but but and again, like women can play hockey. Like that's I know plenty of women who have and are very, very good at it. But I want figure skating skates. So anyway, there were three options, and I want to describe these skates to you. The first pair was a pair of just like white figure skates, which is the ones that I got. Are you okay?
yeah, my hand is cramping.
Jesus. Eat a banana. A
For
dollar
a dollar.
banana. A $1 banana. Um I so there's the white figure skates. Then there's a pair that look, you know those hats that have like the ear flaps, like the flannel hat
Mhm.
things. So okay, so
The
if
Eskimo?
like Eskimo hats, yeah. If those were a pair of figure skates,
That's what you were.
that's what they had. That was the second pair that they had. And then the third pair were these like do you know what houndstooth is?
Yeah.
Like houndstooth figure skates.
Oh
And
shit.
he was showing them to me like, "Do you like either of these?" And I'm like, "No, I want the white ones. I'm going to the Olympics."
She's gonna be an Olympic champion. You know, I've always wanted to get into freaking what's that? They
Curling?
yes,
They have curling
curling.
lessons at my figure skating rink.
Maybe I'll do that.
But anyway, so okay, so like the judgment never stops. I've been invested in this since Wednesday. Like literally invested in this because that's when I paid for my lessons. And every time I talk to somebody, they look at me like I have two heads. So anyway, so he gets two different sizes for me because apparently you size down in figure skates. Makes sense now. And I actually did have proper figure skating socks to bring to this fitting with me.
Are they super thin?
Yeah, they're very thin. They look like stockings. So anyway, I sit down on the bench and I'm trying on these things and he kind of looks at me and this guy's probably like 19 or 20, like he's young and he's like, "So are you starting a new hobby?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
"Yes, I am." And he's
You know
like,
what? They're just jealous. That's the thing. They're not judging. They're just like, oh, people
"I wish
actually do that.
yeah, like I wish I was dedicated enough to
Try something
try something
new.
new." So I was
Fuck
like,
it.
"Yeah, I'm trying a new hobby." And he's like, "Oh, so like are you like taking lessons or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I signed up for lessons." And he's like, "Oh, that's really cool." And he's like, "Did you do it as a kid?" And I was like, "I mean, a little bit. I've definitely been on ice skates
I
before."
went ice
It's been
skating
about
in the middle
20
of winter.
it's been about 20 years, believe it or not. We actually have quite a few ice rinks in Florida. The more you know.
Interesting.
Hockey's like somewhat big down there. So there is like a fair amount of ice rinkage. But I was like, "Yeah, it's been like 20 years." And he's looking at me like, "Where is her life alert button?"
He's
Like
like, she's really going through her quarter
so
life
because when I
crisis.
said it's been 20 years, he's like counting on his fingers. He's like, "Okay, so she's got to be at least 65." And anyway, I felt really judged. I felt very judged. And
Well, you were very judged.
I was. And like again, like I had three options for figure skates. And there of course are more that you can buy online, but like I needed to get the ones that fit me, so I needed to buy the ones that I tried on. And I mean, eventually I'll get like better skates once I'm good at this. But I don't know, it's just like every step of the way when I tell people I'm doing this, they're just like, "Why?" And it did start as a joke. It did start as a joke, but I
I
am gonna
mean,
take it very seriously.
when I started bull riding, everyone just called me a dumbass. So, I mean, at least people aren't calling you a dumbass.
Well, I tend to agree with them a little bit with from the bull riding front. I that to me is just
I think we should go skydiving.
dangerous. No.
Actually, you know what? I
Jake can fly the
still
plane for us.
I there we go. I still believe that like I can be like a spy, an FBI agent. Like I'm past my prime. I still think that I could be like a wonderful gymnast.
You probably could.
I've never done gymnastics and I have bad knees.
Okay, but here's the thing that I
But
want to
why can't I start now?
Okay, so obviously, like, there are physical limitations as you get older. I am not going to deny that. I will put this microphone up to my knees so you can hear them click every time I bend down. My hips can tell me when it's going to rain. Oh, I didn't really want you to do that.
That was my knee.
That was Chris's knee. But I don't understand why you have to do these things when you're a kid because, like, these people that do it retire when they're like 25
Yeah, and their body is already
and
shit.
their bodies are, you know?
I say we start doing it after our body has gone to shit, so that way it can't get any worse.
I mean, it can get worse. It can get a lot worse.
Oh, absolutely.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like what is it? Like if I dedicate because I'm so much more dedicated to this at 31 years old than I would have been if my mom signed me up for this when I was 5.
Yeah, but this was also an impulse.
Right, but I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going like there's competitions, Chris.
There's comp.
There's competitions.
Oh my fucking god,
I
we're
can
we're gonna
compete.
do a fucking live stream from the competition.
Oh my gosh. And like I like the costumes. I'm gonna bedazzle my own costume.
You're gonna do it yourself.
Duh.
that
I bedazzle things. That's kind of a little hobby of mine.
that's great.
Like circa like 2000, like Paris Hilton vibes.
Oh yeah.
And all of these little bitches that I'm gonna be competing against are too young to even know what that means.
Are you gonna be competing against like 5-year-olds?
No, I think I'm gonna be competing against other adults. I think that
So like
I think it's
18
like
year olds?
no, I think it's like 18 to 85.
Damn.
Yeah. They're like seniors that are doing this. Oh,
Oh
that's the
hell
other thing
yeah.
too. That's the other thing too.
Maybe they didn't start until they were 30.
Maybe, probably not. And you like you're I'm not going to compete against people who are like it's you get a level and with each like skate like these skating lessons are like accredited by like the skater commission
Yeah.
of adult figure skating or whatever the hell. So like you have to pass a test to move on to like level 2, level 3, level 4. So you have like a rank.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, it's
Is
there's like a governing body. So I'm going to be competing against adults that are on my level.
is this podcasting thing a hobby?
No, it's
But here's the thing, it's like, like we do this. I don't think I've ever listened to any young child. Like for us to be doing
what?
this, for us to be doing this right now,
Uh-huh.
we are in our prime.
Fair.
Yeah, cuz like the only people that I listen to that do podcasts are people
Older.
around our age or
Right.
older. Like we're in our prime and we'll be in our prime for the next 60 years.
Of doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least I mean,
At least we're fitting in where we're supposed to be
that's
in one
fair.
thing in life.
Okay, so we're not just completely. But the thing
Yeah,
is like what and okay, am I a little delulu? Yes. But like what if I'm really really good at this?
I think you will be.
What if I'm really good and I like do go to the Olympics? Will that probably happen? Doubtful. However, what a cool story.
Can I be your entourage?
Sure. 2026 is in Milan, and I think
Ooh. For
2030 is
winter?
mhm.
Mm.
And I think 2030 is in Paris or somewhere in France.
Here's the thing. There's stories of people that have like literally uh like went and won championships and joined the what was it? There was that bicyclist who started riding bikes in her mid 20s while working full time as a venture capitalist, and then like that was what she did in her like spare time, and then like she got more serious about it, and then she was picked up by like a bicyclist team,
That's what I'm
and
saying.
then she made the freaking Olympics.
Okay, because look, as somebody who works in marketing and somebody who works in the news, who do you care more about winning? Somebody who is, granted, very talented, but has been skating since the time she could walk, or the the 30-something-year-old that just like picked it up as on a whim as a hobby and made it all the way to the Olympics.
The underdog
That the
story.
underdog story. I am Cinderella. I'm Cinderella.
Oh my god.
Do they make glass figure skates? Probably
No,
not.
no, your feet would be destroyed.
I'll bedazzle them to look like glass. But you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying
It's the
though.
underdog story.
The
Everyone
underdog
loves to
story.
hear that.
Everybody loves to hear it. And is it unheard of? I don't know.
I haven't really looked in to see if, how many figure skaters there are in the Olympics that just started their figure skating career in their mid 20s, because most of them are early 30s, very early 30s.
You think?
Yeah, most of them I feel like are. Oh no,
I
you know
think
what? Like well, and that's why I
like
told you to
Simone
get
Biles,
dual.
for instance. Simone Biles, I think, is 27, and people are like, "Is this your last Olympics?"
I mean, she said that her body hurts more
Because
now.
she's been doing it so long.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Takes long
could,
as you get older. It takes longer to recover.
yes,
It
but
hurts.
the point that I'm making here is that if I'm starting at 31, then in 6 years, I can be good enough to compete in the Olympics. And I've only, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, in 6 years, yeah.
So, like, I won't be
But
too
like,
old because I will have been doing it.
how many other people in the United States are there that are like you though?
Well,
That think
there's,
if they start right
what is
now?
it, 330 million people in the US?
Yeah, that's. I mean, the odds are. How many people are doing the Olympic trials
Well, here's
for
the thing.
figure
I
skating?
can tell you after September 8th how many adult beginner level 1 figure skaters there are.
I
And I'll
support
size
you.
those bitches up
I
too.
support you.
I'll let you
I will
know.
go to your competitions.
Okay, okay. And I at least want to do one competition. Like maybe I won't be very good, but I want to see like maybe like these people aren't very good either. You know what I mean? And maybe
Yeah.
I'll be like the star of adult figure skating
Maybe
lessons.
they'll be using like a walker, like to hold them up while they're skating. Maybe
They
that's what
make
it
those for kids.
maybe well, and I'm sure they make them for adults too, so the adults don't like,
There's
fall
like
down.
there's these butt pad things that you can buy.
There's probably chairs that you can sit in while you're going.
Probably. I'm sure like the Paralympics has like
I want you to go into your first lesson and be like, I haven't figure skated since I was like,
in middle school.
yeah,
I mean,
real,
I've
real
I've
young.
like gone like I've like rented skates and gone, but I haven't like actually like taken a class or like figure skated
I
since I
want
was
you
in
to
middle
go in and
school.
tell the instructor, hey, my goal is to make the Olympics in 2026.
Sorry, I was just cracking my knuckles into the microphone.
That's fine.
They're gonna laugh at me, but if anybody can do it, it's the snake
It's you,
wrangler.
the snake wrangler.
Oh my gosh. My whole theme is gonna be Taylor Swift Reputation because of the snakes.
You lost me at.
Look what you made me do.
Oh.
I'm gonna skate to that song.
That's gonna be your anthem.
All of the Swifties out there get me.
Yeah, I'm not a big Swiftie, but like when I was in seventh grade, I remember when she first like started getting popular,
Hmm. I was in high
and
school.
we're not that far off. But like I was in seventh grade, and I was with my friends, and I'm like, oh, she's like, you know, gonna be really big.
And here she is, a
Yeah, she's
billionaire, a literal
freaking.
billionaire.
Yeah,
I bet
she's
she
like,
could figure skate if she wanted to, and nobody would laugh at her.
no, not at all.
She would
I mean,
buy,
you could wear like Taylor Swift outfits from her concerts as like you could recreate them.
yes, with Swarovski crystals. That's the plan.
Yeah, and that would be your figure skating outfits.
Do I bedazzle my figure skates?
Now, what what
No.
part-time hobby should I take on?
Okay, so literally anything. The sky's the limit. Bull riding. Why have you stopped bull riding?
I stopped bull riding because it hurts.
Yeah, well,
And bulls are kind of I mean, it's kind of scary. Like it's a cool adrenaline
kind
rush,
of.
but it's yeah, when they got a strap wrapped around their belly, I would kick and freak out too.
Have you ever broken a bone?
No, never.
Huh.
Never.
Me either.
I think I have something wrong with my thumb, but that's about as far as the extent goes. But I don't have cartilage in my knees, so
What about horseback riding?
that would be great if it wasn't so expensive.
It is expensive. It is very
And
expensive.
it's like you have to get like cuz I've looked into it, like getting your like cuz I could get a horse from my uncle
Hmm.
and cuz he trains horses out in Wyoming. But I could get a horse from him and bring it back here.
But
But
it's
then it's like
boarding then.
$600 a month,
Hmm.
if not more, to
Yep.
board that. And I'm like, that's half of what I spend in rent.
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous.
And then you have
And
to
I
feed
think that's
them
just boarding, not even including the
the food and
food.
stuff. Yeah.
Like that is wild. And then you have to take it to the vet.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big ass animal to
That is a
take to
big
the
ass
vet.
animal.
Like, and
And you
it'd be
definitely
great. And like you could ride other people's horses, but then you're spending like $100 every time you're going.
you need
I don't care.
lessons too. Like I did a decent amount
I
of
mean, I
horseback
can ride
riding.
horses. I can ride horses.
Well, yeah, but in order to like compete and like you have to you
Oh, I
need
don't want to compete.
oh, oh.
Yeah. But like, I
I
mean,
want to
but and I
win,
think that's why I
Chris.
coach. That's why I coach wrestling. I coach wrestling so that way, like, it gets the competitive side
Okay, so
of
wait a
me.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're better than me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because my figure skating coach. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that says, "I don't
Yeah, but
care how old you are."
I'm coaching these kids when they're in their prime.
Would you be open to coaching adult wrestling?
I'm not starting an adult wrestling club.
Oh, that sounds so smelly.
That sounds bad. It doesn't sound good.
That does
Like,
not.
here's the thing. It's like most. I want to say like the oldest person that was competing in the Olympic trials for wrestling was like 40 years old. Like, and that was a stretch. Like Jordan Burroughs, I think is like 32, and he was out of his element.
Didn't he wrestle at Nebraska?
He sure did. He won a national title for Nebraska.
God bless him.
Yeah, and
Okay, so then what you're saying is basically contradicting everything I just spent the past what, 20 minutes?
talking about, yeah. Well, like, and that's for wrestling, but it's like, here's the thing: there are competitions. Like in Nebraska, there's the Cornhusker State Games,
Yes, I heard about
and
those.
and
That's
you could
where my
compete in that.
yes, and they have figure skating.
Yeah, and then like you can also go to like other tournaments, and there's like senior like divisions. So like you can compete in wrestling as like an adult, but they call you a senior.
That's what I was gonna say. So
Why are
when
they calling like why
I
are
don't
we
know, but I
as like
hate it
20s and 30-year-olds being called seniors?
because if you look at my figure
Senior
skate box,
division? I'm not old.
if you look at my figure skate box, it literally says senior.
Oh, don't you hate that?
I do. It's
It's like
ageism.
it,
That's what
it
I'm
is
saying.
ageism. It's like why are you trying to deter us from doing this?
Because you know we're gonna be better than your snot nosed little kid.
Yeah. Like fuck them kids.
Seriously.
So yeah, no, I'm trying to think of like any other hobbies. I
Well,
go
I think
fishing. Like fishing is meant for
pickleball.
old people. Pickleball, that is that's a thing. But like we're doing volleyball,
Yeah.
sand volleyball.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about like we're talking about like improvement, right? And like something that you pay somebody to teach you how to be better at it. Like not just a hobby, but specifically a way that you are investing in your own personal development.
Like synchronized swimming.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be that's low
But like
impact.
I
Good
feel
for your
like
knees.
they here, one of those this is why I feel like I need to move to the villages in Florida. They
I
have
grew up very
all
close to the
these
villages.
they have all these events and things just for people over the age of 55. Like
Why wait
I'm sure
though?
they have
Why
pickleball leagues.
wait?
Yeah, why do we have to well, apparently the villages is opening up to people under the age of 55 through their expansion now.
I think that they also had like a ravenous STD problem.
Oh, 100%. There apparently there's a bunch of swingers there.
Yes, yes, and they don't
Swingers are where all the
protect.
STDs come from.
Yes, they don't protect because they don't have to worry about getting pregnant.
Well,
Like in
there is
retirement
that.
homes too, it's like a problem.
So it's just a fucking
So maybe we don't go to the villages, but
well, I'd go to the villages.
here
I
it
don't have to
comes.
partake in that, but
He-
they're gonna have oh, I could whoop all them senior asses.
here's the gripe from the beginning of this. You're so limited as to what you can do because the lessons aren't readily available, you know?
Yeah.
So like how do you find a hobby unless you're right, like you said, salsa dancing?
Yeah, like and they're like I haven't heard of like competitions for like salsa dancing or
Oh, no,
anything like
there's
that.
definitely, like, ballroom dance competitions.
Yeah, 100%. But it's like I'm not going on to Dancing with the Stars. I'm not going. Well, I'm not a star and I'm
Yet.
not a dancer. So like, I'm not going on to like. So you think you can dance?
Mhm.
Like, ooh,
What
like
if
I'm
you
not gonna
took,
get
like
upset.
what if you took, like, voice lessons or, like, acting lessons and you got
I
into, like,
mean,
community theater?
gross.
That's mean.
Well, it's just not something I would want to do at this point in my life. I did that when I was younger. Like I would say like I'm a decent singer, but it's just not something that
What
I
about learning
feel
an instrument?
gross.
Why?
Actually, I would love to learn how to play the piano or the guitar.
I would say piano over guitar. I tried both, and the guitar is hard because you have to get calluses on your fingers. It hurts.
Yeah, I always think that,
Or
like
like violin.
I could put a band together and whatnot. Like I could be like, "Oh, we're gonna put a band together. Like I'll learn how to play the piano really quick and whatnot and all that." No. Here's the thing, it's like these things take a lot of time and dedication
Hmm.
that I feel like at this point in my life I just don't have the time or the desire to dedicate it
So
to.
then you're proving my point. You're proving society's point that
Well,
adults don't have the bandwidth to
I
take on these
mean,
kinds of hobbies.
if our society didn't require us to like only devote ourselves to working for the rest of our life
Well,
and only worrying about work,
that's another podcast episode.
then yeah. If our society didn't, be like, "Oh, once you turn, so and so years old, like you devote the rest of your life to work," then maybe I'd have more time for hobbies.
I think that's a you problem, Chris. You're a
That
workaholic.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
I have the same type of job kind of that you have, and I'm dedicating myself to this newfound passion of
Yeah,
mine.
that's true. But like my thing is like November through March, I'm booked up.
Okay, so here's what I'm hearing.
Excuses.
Excuses,
Yeah.
one after
100%.
the other. I made excuses. I told myself like, "Ugh, what am I going to do? Why am I paying for figure skating lessons? What am I going to do with that? Is it going to get me a scholarship to college? Am I going to the Olympics? No and no. Been to
Well,
college. Don't need to go back." But
you might go to the Olympics.
I might go to the Olympics. But it's about just bettering yourself. If I died tomorrow,
Am I not a great self?
can you be better?
Uh, Maybe. N-
You're
My goal,
contradicting
my goal, my
everything that I
goal
was
is
saying.
my goal is the other thing
Here's
is
what
I get nervous to meet new people. Like I get nervous to do these things because I feel like I'm going to go in and embarrass the shit out of myself, and then I get really nervous because then it's like, "Oh, I'm going to do this in front of like people that are really
strangers.
good at it and they're strangers and I don't know them and they're probably like I'm going to leave that place and they're going to laugh at me." But
No.
honestly, then I think about it again and I'm like, these people couldn't give a shit
Nope.
less about me after I leave that
Because
place.
guess what? Adults aren't petty little kids.
That's
Like
true.
kids are like that. When you go to like, when you go to these lessons when you're a child, that's how kids are. But adults are like, we're all in this together, friends.
I'm still
And
traumatized from childhood.
can we you are. Definitely. Definitely. But can we also talk about how hard it is to make friends as adults? And this is a
It's
great way to do
so
it.
difficult.
This is a great way to do it.
That's another episode.
I know, I know. Making friends as adults.
It's we're on jar number 3.
So I guess my question to you is so?
I need to find a hobby
Yes. Stop making excuses.
and stop
Stop
making
making excuses.
excuses.
I made excuses for years. This is not the first time that I thought about taking adult figure skating lessons, but this is the first time that I told myself, if not now, when? I'm not getting any younger.
That's what I said with bull riding too. I was like, you know what?
Bull riding can actually kill you though. Like I think that we need
True.
to toe the line between like doing something that you've always wanted to do and, again, bettering yourself, but like maybe not doing things that are death defying.
Yeah, but like the thing is like I was like, I'm at that point I'm 25 years old. I'm like, I'm not getting any younger, and I want to try this at least once. I wanted to do it,
But you did it, and
and I
it's not something that you were passionate enough to stick with.
exactly, and
That's
it was like,
fine.
my body couldn't keep up with it either.
Right.
Like, and also I was like, kind of getting weirded out all these times that I was like, these 10-year-olds were out there doing way better than me, and I was like,
Because in bull
damn.
riding, there's not like an adult division.
No, there's no separation of divisions in bull riding.
Crazy.
You could compete against like
I feel like
13.
10-year-olds have like an unfair advantage.
Yeah, you can compete against like 13-year-olds, and you could be my uncle, he used to bull ride, and that was the
Mhm.
reason I wanted to do it. And like he did it for years. And the last time that he like rode bulls was
Bull
when
road.
rode bulls was when he was like uh 50 years old, was when he
My dad did
was
it
his
for
final time.
My dad did it for a very, very long time, and he's broken every single rib in his abdomen.
There were close calls. I had close calls, but like never actually got hurt, which I am thankful for, and I'm thankful for the opportunity that I was able to do it, and nobody judged me.
Right.
Like
I'm
it
judging you a little bit right now, but that doesn't
yeah,
count.
yeah. Like, but when I was there, nobody was judging me. Maybe
Right.
the little kids were, but I was like, whatever. But there was also one other person there that was like maybe 2, 3 years younger than me.
Mhm.
And I was like, I like at that point, I was in an established career. Like my financial life was great. I was just doing this because I needed to change it up a little bit.
We're also having this discussion. I think it's important to preface this as like two childless millennials. Because
Yeah.
it changes too once you have kids, right? Like obviously you have a lot less time when you have children, but also you don't want to be doing things that are like very, very risky once you have kids because you need to stick around for those little brats.
Yeah. It's I don't that was the other thing too that I thought about was like, my life might look a lot different in 3, 4, 5 years. And
Hmm.
I was like, you know, I may not have the time to focus on myself, so I may like I I mean, right, I'm a very selfish person in a way that like I want to do things for myself. And I want to
Most
do
people
things that
are,
make
whether or
me
not they admit
happy.
it.
And but like but at the same time I am very selfless in the fact that like I give up a lot of my time to help other people.
That is true.
And I am, finding that separation is very difficult to like spend time focusing on yourself while also like finding time to help others.
So maybe you're not ready to commit
To anything.
to anything.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think I should by the next episode come up with an idea of what hobby I want to start.
painting,
Gross.
throw pottery.
Cool.
It's harder than it looks.
Yeah.
But
They
find
got
something.
they got classes for
But
that.
find something that like right, like don't do it. This is something that I really think that I'm going to enjoy. I wouldn't have dropped as much money as I already have if it weren't something that I thought that I was going to really enjoy. And you know what I mean? Like, yes, it was impulsive in the sense that like the classes were starting and I needed to sign up for them, but it really was something that I'd been thinking about for a while. And it's something that like I knew that was going to give me some sort of joy. It's something that I was really really going to find, a lot of value in. So don't be too impulsive. Maybe have a list next week of like 3 things and just start looking into it
We're doing this every Saturday, right?
because you're investing. Yes, you're investing in yourself.
Or Sunday or
Yes.
whatever day.
Well, we can do it
Saturday or Sunday.
because Sundays in a couple of weeks I'm going to be at adult figure skating lessons. So,
Sunday in a couple weeks is my birthday.
you're right.
Or no, Saturday.
Saturday. Your
Saturday.
birthday's- And then 1 week later is my birthday. We'll come up with a
Yeah. Honestly, we've already gone over. But we're
No,
gonna
that's fine.
wrap on today.
Yes, yes.
But
So the key takeaways, I think I want to give our listeners 3 takeaways. The first one is
wrangle snakes.
wrangle the metaphoric snake. It doesn't have to be a literal snake. wrangle the metaphorical snake.
It could be a real snake.
And if it's a real snake, bonus points. But, you know, grab that bitch, throw it into a recycling bin, and take it out back. In anything. Again, that's a metaphor. Or it could be literal if you're me. Number 2. Trust fate. Trust fate. Like, I'm going to trust fate with fantasy football.
Yeah.
But also do your due diligence, because metaphorically speaking, also, you know, I'm going to have to, in life and on my fantasy football team, I'm going to have to look at what the auto draft has given me, and also bench things that I've, and you know, and cycle out players. These are all metaphors that I'm giving you. And then the third is never stop improving, and never think that you're too old to try something new.
And break the ageism boundaries.
Yeah. We're all
Fuck
guilty
ageism.
of it. Fuck ageism.
Fuck ageism.
So
All right.
that's what we have. That's our shit to say.
I think
We've
that's
said a
the
lot of
shit that we
today.
had to say.
All right, we'll see
Did
you.
we get everything off our chest?
Yeah, for this week.
All right, for this week. All right. Let's go.